Are you looking to hire a nanny? Then you need to contact HelloNanny.com. Trying to find a nanny on your own takes a lot of time. Sure, you can ask friends or scour Facebook groups for a referral. But then what? You still need to vet them, and that takes time and skill. That's why we recommend HelloNanny.com, because they take the guesswork out of finding the perfect childcare match. With more than 20 years of experience, HelloNanny.com vets every candidate for you, using a proven process that has helped other families in the Park Cities find the perfect nanny for their family. But they don't just help you find a nanny. HelloNanny.com walks you through every facet of managing a domestic worker, making sure you know all the rules and regulations. So if you're considering hiring a nanny, go with the experts and visit HelloNanny.com or call them at 844-266-2669 and let them help you take the guesswork out of finding the perfect nanny for your family. Welcome to the Bubble Lounge. I'm Martha Jackson, and tonight is finally the night. Highland Park is kicking off football season, and we are so excited to welcome the 2024 football captains. As you know, we are big fans of Highland Park football, and we have invited in all the captains this year, including offensive lineman Gage Clark, linebacker Anders Korn, running back James Lancaster, linebacker Jack Morse, and defensive lineman Daniel Turner. Guys, welcome to the show. Let's go around the table and just introduce yourselves, tell your number and what position you play.
I'm Anders Korn, number 6, and I'm a linebacker.
I'm Gage Clark. I'm number 76. I play offensive line.
I'm Jack Morse. I'm number 9, and I play inside linebacker.
I'm Daniel Turner. I'm number 93, and I play defensive end.
I'm James Lancaster. I play running back, and I'm number 5.
Well, how did you each get into football? I know you've been playing for quite some time.
Jack and I actually started in 3rd grade with the Cowboys, the HP Cowboys, and ever since it's just been time has flown since the Cowboys. I don't know.
I've known it my whole life. Just my dad, he played at the NFL and college level. He taught me everything I know. And then me and James played also an 11-man team called HP United, where a lot of guys are still on the varsity team today. And that's where it all started out.
I started in pre-K playing flag football with my dad. He was my coach for basically pre-K to 6th grade. And then as Anders said, we had a 11-man Cowboys team, which a lot of us, we're all still on the same team. We all still play together. That's how I started.
Yeah, I think I started playing YMCA ball. My dad, he played football here and at Washington and Lee. He was a captain here, and he coached my YMCA team. And so that's really where it started for me. It was just a lot of fun getting to play with him as my coach.
Yeah, so like Jack, I started playing flag football in pre-K, and I remember playing him all the time. I was on the Raiders, and that's just kind of where I found the love for football. And then it developed into 6-man football in YMCA on the same team as Gage, and went from that to 11-man, and then here we are today. And the love for football has just grown since.
Okay, I cannot believe how long most of you have been playing. I mean, this is crazy, and you guys have been together, some of you on the teams from early on, and that's really amazing. So being the team captain, that's a pretty amazing accomplishment. I want to know how you felt when you got the news. Like, did somebody call you? Did you get an email? How did this all happen?
We actually get presented captainship by the previous captain, so they'll introduce it name by name. The captain from the previous year will introduce it, and after that, Coach Allen brings us into the office and has us call our moms and tell them that we got captain.
I mean, yeah, it's like a long process. It all starts with everyone on the team votes for the player committee, and there's 12 of us. I think it's 7 defense, 5 offense. And then after that, all the PC members will give a speech on a given topic. So like for example, mine was Scots Find a Way. So I talked about old games like Jesuit last year, McKinney game. And then after that, they'll vote for captains. And then as Anders said, the old captains told us who it was, who the now captains are going to be. Yeah, and exactly what Anders said.
Extremely nerve-wracking, by the way.
Yeah. I could imagine. Yeah, for sure. Tell me about your most memorable moment playing in high school.
I think that's got to go, probably for all of us, is the McKinney game. That was just an unreal experience. Both just the mixture of where we were playing at SMU Stadium, and then the weather was just crazy weather, and just overall it's a crazy game, great atmosphere, and we all played our tails off, and it showed.
As a team, most definitely the McKinney game. Like on a personal performance was my sophomore year playing against Jesuit. It was like the first game I started. I had an interception in front of like the whole crowd. And that by far is like the coolest moment probably of my entire life.
Finding an oral surgeon is hard enough for yourself, and when it comes to your kids, it can feel impossible. We suggest our friends at Stewart and Arango because from emergencies to wisdom teeth and everything in between, they have you covered. Stewart and Arango are board certified with MDs who specialize in full scope oral, facial, and implant surgeries for both children and adults. Not only is their office state of the art, they lead the industry with the most advanced techniques and procedures. And when it comes to safety, they are pediatric and adult advanced life support certified and use a 3-day local anesthesia, which keeps you comfortable while limiting the use of opioids. Best part is, they're conveniently located at Northwest Highway and Hillcrest Avenue. So if you want the best of Big D caliber oral care, come see the friendly staff at Stewart and Arango. To learn more about them or book your appointment, visit saoralsurgeons.com. That's saoralsurgeons.com. Okay, let's go back to McKinney for a minute here because Coach Allen just talked about it last week on the show. It's by far my most favorite football memory that I've ever experienced because I was right there on the sidelines, right next to the goalpost when Nick kicked it through, and I mean it was raining like you said, and it was just the celebration was phenomenal. Everything was amazing about that game.
I mean, I just remember like we were going to that game. We knew who we were playing. They were hyped up in every single news article saying that they were going to beat us. They had all these, Division I guys going to play ball at the next level, and they were just shown to be such a dominant team and one of the best defenses in all of Texas high school football. But yeah, we came out there and we proved everybody wrong, and just I think us showing how we can take over a team that no one said we could. Just it means so much to everybody, and it like showed so much courage, and I think that win just meant so much and really showed how cool the moment really was. Yeah.
Yeah, to go back to that final play, Daniel, Gage, and I were all in, and it actually got tipped. So like right when it got tipped, I see all the McKinney guys celebrating at first, and I was like, might as well just take a final look at the ball, see where it goes, and it just barely trickles in. And then watching everyone's faces, we all looked at each other like, that just went in. Like, that just happened. And just running to the student section with everyone. Like, I was crying tears of joy. I don't know about anyone else, but
Everybody was.
I was too, don't
super
worry.
excited.
Oh,
It's, like,
yeah.
super magical.
The most electric thing of all time, I think.
It really was. And I mean, just the bad weather and the rain added on top of it all. Like, just everyone was on the field and everyone was going crazy. It really was something to celebrate for sure. So, you all are starters on the varsity Highland Park team. Did you always have this talent amongst you, or was there ever a rough time, like a rough start that you had to your football career?
So freshman year, James and I, we were on the freshman team. Daniel, Anders, and Gage all got moved up to JV. But we got named as ball boys by Coach Corey at practice. And I remember this day vividly, one of my favorite memories from football probably. And it was a Thursday night in Sherman on a grass field. Our game got canceled. And we win. We beat Sherman pretty bad. And after the game, we're all eating our Whataburger on the bus. And Coach Corey walks up the stairs of like the third team bus, or the third row bus, and he's like, "Ball boys, come here." And all the ball boys were holding a group around Coach Corey. And Coach Corey was like, "Y'all left 5 footballs on the field, 3 towels, a headset. Like, this isn't very funny. Like, I'm going to run y'all into the ground tomorrow." And then he looks over to James, and then James starts laughing. And I'll let him pick it up from there.
I couldn't keep it in, man. He looked at me, and it just all came out. And I looked at all the other guys, and they're all just straight faced, looking at the ground. And I look up at Coach Corey, he's just staring at me, and I just let it out. I couldn't hold it in. I couldn't hold it in. And we joke around with Coach Corey about that story. It's one of those stories that really, it's what football's about. It's a warm memory. And so going from ball boy to being on starter on varsity, it means the world to us. And
Yeah, my sophomore year, I tore a ligament in my knee, and so I knew I wasn't going to play my sophomore year, and so I took on the role of like a coach, and I would write down the plays, where the runs were fitting, what gap, and in the moment it didn't feel like I was doing much, but looking back, the impact I made on the team when I wasn't even playing, it made a difference towards the outcome of the game.
One of my favorite roles on the sidelines is the can man. Who is the can man this year?
Yeah, so the can man we chose this year is Knox Randall, and just nobody doesn't love Knox. He comes into a room that he brightens everyone's day. He's the definition of a Scot, and he got injured in spring, and so he won't be able to play very much. But he just brings it whenever and wherever, and he just is definitely someone you want on your sideline, banging a trash can and getting hype.
Well, I can't wait to see him out there. I want to let you in on a little secret. My husband, Sean, is a lousy handyman around the house. I leave him notes all the time, and he never seems to have time to take care of even the simplest home maintenance tasks. That's why I am so excited to introduce you to Mannerly, a concierge home maintenance service that you can rely on. Mannerly takes the time to handle all your home maintenance issues, from routine house chores like pool cleaning to replacing AC equipment during an emergency. They can help handle it all. What I really like about Mannerly is they are the single point of contact for any home maintenance work or remodeling that needs to be done. They not only employ professional handymen, they also have in-house licensed electricians, painters, and carpenters providing quality service that will exceed your expectations. Guaranteed. And best of all, they manage all of your home service providers so you don't have to worry about scheduling or managing their services. Mannerly has you covered. So if you are tired of trying to manage all the services you need for your home, contact our friends at mannerly.com. So you all are all seniors now, right? Tell me how you want to leave your mark on this football program.
I mean, I feel like there's only one answer to this, and it's with a ring, 2024 on the press box.
Yeah.
I feel like that's all of our goals.
Yeah. I think that we're blessed to have that as our standard at Highland Park. And, that's the tradition here. And so some other schools might say, like, hey, we want to win some playoff games or we want to win district. But for us, it's go big or go home.
Do you have any hobbies? Do you have any other interest outside of football?
I mean, football does take up a lot of time, especially like right now in fall camp. But other than that, I feel like a lot of the guys just like to, like, our team, I feel like hangs out a lot more than any other team has. So bonding, like a bond, we have a huge bond on our team.
I mean, yeah, back to what Anders was saying, like all the guys after a game will go out together and just like have a good time. We'll, just celebrate the win, or after practices, we'll lead like offensive line, the offensive backfield. We'll go eat Mia's on Wednesday night as a team and just help relish and deepen our bond as a team. And I feel like that amount of like going out and like hanging out with the team is not that common, especially at a high school level. But like I think the football team shows that a lot, and it's really cool to see.
Yeah, like going off what Gage said, like we're not just a football team. Like we're all friends in our own way. Like we have a bond on the field and we have a bond outside of the field, which is awesome to have.
And as well as like outside of football, a lot of the football team plays lacrosse as well. So right after we're done with football, about a week or two later, we're going to D1 for workouts. And then we start January. We're done November, December, and we're starting up lacrosse in January.
Well, I know that you all, from talking to other captains in the past, that almost every single night of the week you have something that's going on. You kind of have a set schedule as far as team dinners and practices, watching film, all that type of thing. Walk me through a typical week.
Yeah, so it begins on Monday, obviously. That's probably the hardest practice we have all week. And so we really have to get after it. Coach Allen always encourages us to start the week off right. And then it leads to Tuesday, Wednesday, which Wednesday is kind of a more chill practice than Monday and Tuesday. And then, Wednesday, offensive line, running backs, we'll have a little dinner together at Mia's, like Gage said earlier. And then Thursdays, we have team dinner, and that's when we really get prepared for our opponent and just get really locked in for the game tomorrow on Friday.
Yeah, something that I've loved that we did this last year is we have a new coach for the D-line, Coach Lucero, one of my favorite. He is my favorite coach. I love him. And he started hosting D-line dinners on Wednesday nights. And so we'll go over to his house after practice, and his wife will just cook up like trays of like lasagna, or like he did like smash burgers one night. Like he just goes all out. He did steaks one night, and it's just like 3 hours of just the D-line, just with quality bonding, getting to hang out with coach and like talk about more than just football. It's a great time.
And quality food, it sounds like.
Oh yes, for sure.
That sounds amazing. Well, so tell us about your pregame locker room rituals. Like, what are you guys doing in there to get ready for the game?
I mean, for me, I don't really say a word to anyone unless I'm talking about like the game plan with Anders or Daniel or my fellow inside linebackers. We have to put up our phones like 2 hours before the game starts. So it's really just like you in your own mind when you're in there. You have no music. You have like no outside like sources of entertainment, I guess, or like excitement. So it's really just like being mentally prepared. That's a big part of our pregame ritual, I would say.
I feel like faith is also a huge part for this team, and we have worship, and we'll have a guy talk before the game, and he'll pray for us, and Coach Allen makes it a big point of faith and having faith going into the game, and I think that's a huge part.
Yeah, I think that Coach Allen, he's been doing this for years, and he has it down really well. We have time where we have off time before the game where we'll be sitting there, but it's not too much to where you lose focus or you lose the stretches that you got in earlier. Like he definitely has it down to the wire of he has it all timed perfectly, I think.
Right. Hey, Park Cities families, we all feel that pinch of rising home insurance, don't we? But there's a solution, and it's closer than you think. Meet Kathy Elwell, State Farm Agency. She's not just our trusted show sponsor, she's also the expert you need to navigate these unpredictable insurance waters. Why get lost in a maze of policies and rates? Kathy has a knack for simplifying it all. Call 214-350-2692 or stop by kathylwell.com to schedule a meeting. She's ready to review your homeowner policy and pinpoint where you could be saving more money right now. We trust Kathy wholeheartedly, and once you chat with her, you'll see why. It's not just about rates, it's about trust, expertise, and peace of mind. So don't let rising homeowner insurance costs catch you off guard. Contact Kathy L. Wall State Farm Agency now at 214-350-2692 or visit kathylwall.com. With Kathy L. Wall on your side, you'll have an agent you can trust and help secure your family's future. Talk to me about off-season. What have you all been doing since we saw you play last season?
So right after we finish our season out, all the underclassmen who are going to be seniors next year, going to be juniors, we go into a meeting room right after the game, and we talk about what goals we have for this next season and how we're going to prepare for it. And this is right after the game. This is December. And then after that, we go into our hardest portion of training called Scott Makers, where it's just terrible conditioning. The point is to work you to the bone and just see how hard one can go and show how in the fourth quarter, no matter what people will do, and you'll see that in those drills. And then we'll do that for about 2 to 3 weeks, and then we'll finish on a thing called a perfect day, where everyone messes up. I mean, no one messes up. 100% enthusiasm. You're as loud as you can be, and then you head into workouts with the team and doing skill-based positions with the position groups and working on your own fundamentals and stuff. And then for summer, we do performance course, which is Monday through Thursday, 2 hours a day. And that's a lot of fun. We bring in the performance course guys, and they're great coaches. They're just really likable, and they know what they're doing. And we do a bunch of fun stuff there. We do awards every week called Stars of the Week. We celebrate, we dress up and do aerial football as a team, and it's a good time.
Also, during the months of January and February, we have powerlifting every morning. So it's 6 a.m. workouts 3 times a week for about 4 weeks, and Coach Easton, he'll tell you he gets after us, and it's it's not so fun in the moment, but looking back at it, those moments just prepare us for the season to come. So
yeah, I think you'll be ready for anything if you listen to Michael Jackson at 6 a.m. in the weight room.
I could see that. I love Coach Easton. I could see him, he takes his job very seriously. So what kind of changes have you made as far as your performance and your diet? I know some of the younger boys that are interested in playing football at your level, they probably need a little bit of advice from you guys.
Yeah, so between my sophomore and junior year, I was told to gain a lot of weight, and that just comes with playing D-line. I was pretty skinny leading up to that. And so for me, at least, it was just eat as much as you can and then keep eating was kind of my mindset, at least in the off season, because it's less about what you're putting on and more that you're just putting it on. But once we got closer to season, I realized that it should be mostly muscle. You should try to limit all the fats. And so hopped on some mass gainers and then just yeah, kept the thought process of eat as much as you can.
Do you play another sport?
No, I do powerlifting. Like I would do the powerlifting meets.
Okay, because I have a teenage son that plays two different sports, and they're kind of counteracting each other as far as body composition needs to be. So I was just curious how that worked with your situation.
So, I mean, I guess speaking on that two-sport behalf, I mean, for the position I play in lacrosse, which is goalie, I mean, I don't have to be in peak shape. I kind of let like football dictate whatever I'm going to eat. But I'm not going to like go out there and, as my dad says, gain Whataburger weight, which means just go eat like 4 or 5 burgers just to put on weight. Like, yeah, I'm making sure I'm eating like clean foods. Well, not all the time. I'm not going to sit here and say like I'm eating steaks only, rice and chicken. But, you know, it's like making sure you're not going like overboard on like the really like fast foods. But I mean, yeah, that's kind of it.
You got it.
I'll go. Yeah. So I mean, as an offensive lineman, I was coming into my freshman year weighing 190, which that will do nothing for you at the offensive line. You will get tossed around like a rag doll. So I committed myself to just gain as much weight as I can. My dad always told me there's bad weight, like Morse was saying, the Whataburger weight, which you have to avoid. But when you're trying to gain that much weight, you have to throw a little bit of it on because it's just so easy to get those calories in. Like it's 2,000 calories for like a burger and fries, which would be like 5 salads or whatever. I don't even know. But, So, I mean, whatever sport you're playing, you have to gain weight. Just realize don't do too much of the bad stuff. Like 80% good stuff, 20% bad stuff. So
I think that's a good balance. So I always love to ask this of our student athletes because you guys are juggling a lot of things, your academics, the sports, all the stuff. How do you manage your workload?
I mean, as seniors, it's a little bit nicer because we have off periods and we're able to leave school. So, like, I have 6th and 7th off and 8th period football. So I'll go home, I'll eat lunch for like 30 minutes, and I'll try to get as much homework out of the way as possible because I know I'm not going to get home till 6:30 on some nights. So I'll go home, I'll do as much as homework as possible on my off periods. And then when I get home, like, you're going to be tired. You won't have to have a big workload. So, like, obviously 6, 7, big work time. And then after that, I get everything else done. And dinner, shower, bed.
Yeah, like going off what Jack said, like when it comes to this season, you kind of have to keep like a good routine going, especially when you're juggling football, academics, and all other stuff. And we have great teachers at Highland Park. Like, they know that we're going through a lot, especially student athletes. Like, they know we have a lot on our plate. And so just having like a good routine helps us keep everything down when it comes to football, especially AP classes, just homework, get it all done, and then, just prepare for games on Friday nights, which really helps.
Well, before you were seniors, how did you work in the homework portion of the day? Because you guys are super busy, and obviously senior year you have some off times, but before you were seniors, how did you make it work?
Yeah, so junior year is notorious for being the hardest year in high school. I think everyone is nodding their heads on this one. And so I think, at least for me, what I realized pretty early on was that football is exhausting. And so that plus all the homework and schoolwork it's a lot. So what I did, one, was utilize my lunch periods a lot. I was in the library a lot of the time, just like by myself in the corner. I try to find a quiet place where I can get some stuff done. Then another thing was teachers will give you work time, at least the teachers I had. And so most kids will just like pull out their phones, play on their phones, or talk to their friends during that. So you really got to be disciplined and just do your work in class as much as you can.
So you guys are the leaders now. How do you plan to keep the team pumped up all year long?
I think it's all about just keeping the younger guys encouraged, and just keeping the energy high in the locker room is really a great part of that. Coach Allen he's always with us in the morning. He gives us jokes and gets the team ready for practice, and he really knows what he's doing. And so I think with us, for being leaders, we just really have to keep everyone morale high and just keep everyone encouraged. Whether it's a big opponent we have that week, just keep spirits high and, believe in each other, believe in ourselves, believe in the coaches, and just go out there and execute.
I mean, to add on to that, I also think like installing that like mindset of what our end goal is. It's like, yes, you don't want to be there on some Mondays, but I mean, those Mondays add up, especially if we have 16 weeks, we want to go 16-0. You're going to want to have to you're gonna have to buy in. It's like a big part of it is buying in, also knowing like what we're playing for. We're not playing to win 10 games. We're not playing to go to the third round in playoffs. We're playing for like that ring. So just installing that mentality in everyone's head that it's state or bust.
Well, so tonight is the first game against Rockwall Heath. How is the team getting ready for the challenge?
It started all the way back in January, and every time we break out, we'll say like beat Heath or state champs, and everything we do prepares us for this moment and this game. I mean, we've been putting in so much work, and we all know the result we want to get from the end of it.
And we have like this timer in our offensive meeting room, and it's been counting down every single day. So every Monday morning we're going in there, it's 8 days or 6 days, and we're just counting down that time until tonight when it hits 0-0-0.
So do you guys have any advice to parents or to boys who want to play football, just how they can prepare to get to where you are today?
I think a huge thing we touched on it earlier was build bonds with your brothers and the guys you're playing with. I mean, we've all been playing with each other since we were little. And so I think starting that as soon as possible is, I think, what makes this team really special and is a great advantage you have.
I think football is one of the main things that people do for a social outlet. And, like, a lot of guys, like, relish in, like, how football can be a very big source to speak and make friends and build relationships. Like, we've known everyone on this table has known each other almost our whole lives. And that's kind of the cool thing about HP community as a whole, too, is, like, how much of a bond you have with, honestly, like, everyone around you, like your neighbors, your classmates, your teammates. And that's just a really cool thing. And football is definitely a way to access that for sure.
I'd also say just be in the moment, because the cliche time flies, but it really does. It feels like yesterday I was in third grade suiting up for Cowboys football, and man, it's senior year now. So
my offensive line coach says that the days are long, but the years are short, and that is really, like, you think about that, but, like, if you really think about it, it means so much, and it really is true, because, like, you go through those practices and those Scott Maker drills, and you're like, get me out of here. And, like, time, you're just counting every second, make sure it's done. But then, like, you look back, and I feel like that was, like, yesterday. And yet now we're here facing Heath the next night, so.
That is so true. So Highland Park is so known for its strong community support, and all the fans and everyone comes out. We rally for football. We love football. Tell us what that means to you guys.
I think it really just means the world to us, like, knowing the community has our backs no matter what, like, through it all, through the trials and tribulations, like, we know that community behind us is so strong, so it's so loving for us, and, we go out there on Friday nights just knowing that they're behind us, and when you look into the stands right before kickoff, you just see everyone just screaming and cheering for you, and it really just encourages you to give it your all, and it just means so much to us to have a great community behind us at all times.
And kind of add off to what James says. I mean, it's kind of cool, like, when you make a play. Like, I remember my sophomore year going to that Jesuit game. Like, everyone in the stands was saying, he's a sophomore. And I was like, it's just like a surreal feeling knowing, like everyone's cheering for everyone on the field. Like, how our hard work pays off with all the fans, our student body, little kids who are looking up to us, and then parents who were in our shoes at one point playing on Friday nights.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but our record is like 126-2 at home. And it would not be anywhere near that if it weren't for our fans and, how loud they cheered and the environment we have when we play at home.
Yeah, I think one of the most impactful parts of the season for me, Coach Lucero, my D-line coach, actually pointed this out to me because he was like, this doesn't happen anywhere else that I've coached, was after the Lake Highlands game, that was a low for sure for everyone at the season. And like, the parents will come before games and they'll come and stand, like, at the buses and clap while you, like, leave to go on the bus. And so because that game was split into 2 days because it got delayed because of rain, so we had to play the second part on a Saturday. And so the parents were there late that night when the buses came back to support us, and then early the next morning they were still at the buses cheering us on and wishing us good luck. And so that just, like, really meant the world to us. We do it for the community, and so it was a great feeling.
So all sports teams need to raise money just to be able to support the team. And they have a big event coming out on September 20th, which is the annual Caniac Dinner, where you will have a chance to have Cane's Chicken and be able to have a really great time before the game starts that night.
it means a lot to the football team because it raises money for us to get new equipment for practice. And, it's just a fun way to hang out before the game with all your friends or all your family and friends.
Yeah, I wish I could be there to crush some canes.
Guys, thank you so much for being here today. I cannot wait for the game tonight.
Go Scots!
That's been another episode of the Bubble Lounge. I'm Martha Jackson, and I'll see you next time.